the New South Wales government headed? What's the Premier's vision for the future? And importantly, what's the role of business in that, in building a stronger and more prosperous society in New South Wales?
And a commitment to the vision that's been laid out is imperative, and the courage to see that through now in the face of opposition is very, very important.
That there's no time like the lead up to an election to seek to get commitments and promises out of political parties.
Our priority will be, of course, to continue to invest in the huge infrastructure pipeline we have, to improve our frontline services, to create the jobs and investment which is really keeping New South Wales ahead of the pack. But more than that, it's to also focus on livability so that every citizen, no matter where they live in the state, can have that great quality of life. But that can only happen if we keep creating the jobs, building the infrastructure, supporting business and supporting the community.
Ensuring that the services that all 8 million of the people of New South Wales rely on are first class, world class. We should aspire to have the best health and education systems anywhere in the world. And when I talk about education, that's what gives everyone the best opportunity at leading a good and successful and rewarding life. And that has to include a first class training system as well. Employers rely on that, and ensuring the proper skills development and training of the next generation of workers is a hugely important priority for me.
How can we work easier, better, and being part of the digital future? So that's what we're really focused on.
It's not that people aren't talented, it's just that there's not enough people at the moment available on the market.
We think jobs are the number one priority. Having good knowledge jobs close to where people live, stopping that exodus every day out of the west into the city, that's a critical one. Digital policy. We'd love to see something to do with soft infrastructure.
Every time we ask the members what is it that's causing you problems, it's access to really good, skilled staff, and particularly now the federal government is clamping down on bringing skilled people in from overseas. We've got to take the pool of 300,000 unemployed kids and train them.
Business is doing well. And business is doing well, not just in Sydney, but in our regions.
Is regional New South Wales going to see some of the money from selling poles and wires?
Great question. Regional New South Wales is getting at least a third of all proceeds from asset recycling. So over the next 4 years, we estimate regional New South Wales will get around $30 billion in infrastructure on the back of what we already have provided. Plus, remember, we've decided to give all the proceeds of Snowy Hydro 2.0, the $4.2 billion will be going into rural and regional New South Wales. And we know the regions are doing well because our infrastructure spend is bringing private investment off the back of that as well. And the jobs growth outside of Sydney in the regions, and we're talking about communities west of the Great Divide, have been amazing.
Well, I think the biggest call I made was to support the transfer of the New South Wales share of the Snowy Hydro to the federal government when Mr Turnbull promoted that. I supported it because I thought it was an opportunity for the state to reinvest into regional New South Wales. I said 100% of the proceeds, every last dollar, should be spent in regional communities, and I'm glad the government's followed suit in adopting that policy.
Stadia, are you sick of talking about it?
No.
Our concerns are around finite government resources. Government can't do everything.
Of course, we've committed to improving transport links to the Northern Beaches.
I'm not going to pretend that we're going to build a Northern Beaches tunnel, an F6, a North-South railway line from the Macarthur to the northwest, a Western Metro, and 3 new stadiums. Something has to give.
To grow the central city and build the new western city, we're investing more than $23 billion in infrastructure alone in the next 4 years, just in Western Sydney. Today we announced a key plank of this strategy, confirming our plans for the West Metro.
A new rail line, additional rail capacity between the Sydney CBD in the east and Parramatta and Westmead in the west. That's a good thing for our state. But I do want to make the point to you, you'll get it faster under me than you will under the other lot.
I suspect that you might hear a collective groan from the business community right across the state if there is no movement on the ultimate jobs killer in this state, payroll tax, in the upcoming June state budget.
Don't worry, Stephen, I heard about payroll tax and I'm listening.
When it comes to payroll tax as a whole across the entire state, I understand the pressures on business.
And it's a joint question. It's come from Stephen and Nola from Arthur Street, North Sydney. When are you going to commit to cutting the payroll tax?
We hear you loud and clearly, as does the Treasurer, Don Perrottet. So all we'll say is watch this space.
We need cheaper energy costs. We need to drive the price of electricity and gas down so that we don't export jobs overseas.
Can I commend you, Stephen Cartwright, and your team for being unbelievable at what you do. Not only do you keep governments accountable, but you keep reminding all of us about the contribution businesses of all sides make to the strength of our economy. And we're deeply grateful for that. And we have no doubt that in 12 months and beyond, you'll continue to keep us accountable every step of the way.
Now, to stay number one, it's essential that both sides of politics in New South Wales understand the needs of business and then deliver policies and initiatives that continue to give businesses the confidence to invest, the confidence to grow, and most importantly, the confidence to employ other Australians.